YouTube, Professor Kadra here.
Chris here.
This is Community 102 Starter Packs. One of the best ideas that I've heard for growing the pipe community in a healthy way comes from, his name was Gray Bailey. I think the user might go by a different account name.
Not familiar.
Yeah. It was the idea of a pipe starter pack. Simple concept, keep an inexpensive beginner setup ready that can be gifted to someone who expresses genuine interest in pipe smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gave one to Vito.
Yeah, you did. You did, yeah.
So, the idea is that it's for people who express interest in it, not to pressure someone into it, not to preach at someone, not to push it on people. Just offer it if they show curiosity.
Yep.
You know, maybe they're asking questions. Maybe they've been thinking about trying it. You know, maybe they've watched you smoke a pipe for a while, want to learn more. You know, that's where it can be a great introduction. And it doesn't really need much. I'll go through mine here, and I'll just show you what I had put together. I don't know if Missouri Meerschaum makes the smokable seconds anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
that
I went
was
on
a
the
great
website. I didn't see them recently.
way to get it, but
they're still inexpensive.
Yeah, cheap little pipe. This happens to be a hardwood from Missouri Meerschaum.
I've got a cob here. Looks something like that.
Cobs work just as well. I happen to include two samplings of tobacco, an English and an aromatic.
Yeah, and they've got pipes in the under $10 range on Missouri Meerschaum that are totally smokable and great.
Yep.
You know, they got some that are $20-$30 that are a little more involved, but they're good pipes. You know.
Yeah, and if you're looking to give back to the community, it's a great option. Some pipe cleaners, some matches. I have some pipe screens in here in case they want it. I had an extra softy bit and a pipe now, and that's all that I've got in here.
Yeah.
And that's you attest to it. That's all you need to get
started.
All you need.
You know,
it'll let you know whether you like it, whether it's for you, whether you want to explore a little bit. You could even go more fancy with the proper check tool. They're not much more expensive than the pipe nails.
Yeah, you got the pipe nail like this. We got a check tool somewhere over here.
Yep, you can use a proper check tool. They're in the neighborhood of $3.
I bought a check tool and I literally never used it for anything besides mostly the tamper.
Part.
And the scoop is right there, but the nail has that too. So
yeah, Yeah, it's less cumbersome than having to twist the thing out.
And I think a lot of people starting out, they feel maybe a little intimidated. It's not, there's some tools involved, there's some technique involved, and they don't want to do it wrong, and they don't want to have a bad experience. But at the end of the day, pipes. Rob's been smoking a pipe a lot longer than me, and he's kind of the one that got me into it. And you don't need to do everything perfectly. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you need to put it in there, and you need to light it and puff it. You don't inhale a pipe, and all the different tools. You got to clean it in the end. And the pipe cleaner, it's good to have when you're smoking, especially as a beginner, because it might get wet on you, and you want to insert it in. So we'll talk about all this stuff, but
yeah, it's not just for the maintenance of the pipe and keeping it clean. It's also for that during the smoke, which that can really get you early on. Those wetter bowls.
But ultimately, once you have some experience, or even if you're new to it, all you need is a lighter, the pipe, the tobacco, and something to tamp it with. You don't need the pipe cleaner. You can throw that in your jacket pocket or whatever, and it's not. And that's crazy involved.
That's the beauty of these starter packs. They're it's very small. They're very compact. Pipe smoking can look intimidating from the outside. You see hundreds of tobacco blends, expensive artisan pipes. I mean, think all the different pipes we saw at that convention.
Right.
Complicated packing methods, endless opinions online. The reality is you can begin very simply like this, and starter packs help lower that barrier for someone that you might run across, create a healthier way to share the hobby.
It's true, because a lot of people, they might be intrigued by you smoking a pipe. First time I smoked a pipe was with you. You had a pipe you were smoking, and maybe you had an extra one on you or something, but I tried it, and I was like, you know what, I like this. But that you're my close friend, you let me try your pipe. Not everybody you want to share a pipe with like that.
Right.
But they don't have one. It's not like, can I have a cigarette, where you could just give them one. So it's a little bit there's, they're not necessarily going to get into it even if they're intrigued. But if you have a cheap starter kit and they seem kind of intrigued, then give it to them. They might like it, they might not, but it's the only
Yeah.
way.
And that said, it should never be about like evangelism. Pipe smoking is not for everyone. This
course.
isn't about recruitment. That's not the goal here. Some people will be interested, some won't. Either is perfectly fine. The goal is about making the hobby approachable for someone who might already have interest.
Yep.
So if you do make starter packs, I recommend keeping them inexpensive, practical, beginner friendly, and most importantly, easy to use successfully.
I really
Yeah.
like the Cobbs a lot. I mean, when I got these, this was several years ago, but these were going for like $7 or something like that. And a cheap basket briar pipe, which is like kind of a no-name factory briar pipe, was going for like $35-40 at the time. And this smoked better than a couple of different basket briar pipes I tried. So if you're not, I definitely can't recommend those enough for if you want a reliable smoke.
Yeah, I mean, a simple, positive first experience matters far more than like fancy equipment. Even the hardwood Missouri Meerschaum that I happen to have in this particular kit that I was showing.
Yeah.
Cobb is more than enough. All right. Till next time, thanks for watching.